Yeah, Cameron Carter-Vickers is out for the game, so he'll be okay for the weekend. We're pretty sure, but yeah, just felt something in the last game, so no need to risk him. James is still out, but apart from that, we're okay.
Talk to us about the emotions and the excitement ahead of this one.
Yeah, it's a brilliant game. Listen, for us, for us, it's a great achievement to be in the top 24. I think if you look at the economics of it all and at this level, but for the players, they've been fantastic. They've stayed with the idea. They've worked very, very hard, and what we set out to do, which was to firstly arrive in the playoffs. The players have done that, so it's great. But our job's not complete in this series of 8 games. We come here to a great venue against a fantastic team, but we want to come and play to the level that we know we can do. So we're really looking forward to it.
A battle of Britain lying ahead. What sort of challenges are you expecting tomorrow night against the Emery side?
Well, I think Unai's done a brilliant job here. I've never obviously spoken about that, but I think it's first pen testament to the job he's done since he's come in 2022. Like, his body of work over many years has been top class, but you can see that here that he feels wanted, he feels appreciated, and you see what he's doing with the players in the league and what they've done in the Champions League this season. So we know that we're playing against his team, which is a very, very good side, very strong in counter-attack, defend very, very well, got some brilliant players. So yeah, but it's a challenge that we're looking forward to.
Kyogo's now away from the club, obviously. How does that impact things for you from now going forward?
Well, clearly, again, has been a real iconic player for the club. Done absolutely brilliant in his time. So it's about getting a replacement. I think I made that clear. He's a player that has done a great job. He wanted to leave. We have to move on from that, and now we have to look to the next player to come in.
Confident that will happen? Yeah,
well, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. Like I said, we've known for a number of months of what it was going to look like. Clearly, we wouldn't have wanted to have sold him, certainly now at this point, but he made it clear he wanted to move, and when that's the case, then we have to find the best solution for the club then. So and the club will work very hard, and we'll look to get an able replacement.
Brendan, with Maida out as well, he's been such a key player for you in Europe, and Kyogo obviously away. How confident are you that you've got the squad there to cope with those two big losses? Obviously Carter-Vickers out as well. You're kind of 3 key players missing.
Yeah, I'm confident. Listen, of course, those, like you say, Daizan and Kyogo have been a big reference to how this team has played, with the speed and the attack that we've had, and what we've demonstrated a lot through the season. So of course, missing those two, obviously players that make the difference. But we've got other players that can come in, and it's an opportunity for them to come in and show that they can perform at this level. And that's what it's about as a Celtic player. You want to come and play in these great arenas against fantastic teams. And for us, the players will get the opportunity to do that. And between now and the end of the market, we hope that we can reinforce the squad and keep the squad improving.
Can you confirm news that Alex Bailly is on his way out of the club? Is he away? Or?
Yes, yeah, no, Alex won't play again. Sadly, he's in Barcelona now at the moment. And he will probably then move on to another team. So again, another young player that's contributed really well for us. Played nearly 20 appearances for us. Played in some very important games. Makes his Champions League debut, and especially in a way at Atalanta, he was fantastic. Played in really important games. So we're disappointed that he's left, but we have to move on.
Does that potentially speed up the move for Kieran Tierney if that was to happen in January maybe?
ideally it would, but he's still at this moment still an Arsenal player. So I think we're agreed that will definitely take place in the summer. If we can do it beforehand, then great.
Brendan, Yuri Tielemans is a player you knew pretty well. You're looking forward to coming up against him again?
Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant for me. Yuri was a young player that we spent a lot of money on bringing him to Leicester, and I'm so pleased to see how he's done here. I think you have certain players in your squads. You know, he'd be like very much like Callum for me, where he was sort of a coach on the pitch for me. His view of the game was absolutely first class, and even as a really young player, just a real top player in his mentality, his attitude. And then we were lucky to share a really special moment in winning the FA Cup for Leicester for the first time when he scored a brilliant goal. So he's so pleased to see him here now and seeing his influence, because obviously when he first came in, there's other good players, and he's obviously trying to work his way into a new club. But when I see him now play, he's very much a leader on the pitch for Aston Villa, just how he plays the game, how he organises the players around him. And a really good guy who's a top professional.
Brendan, tomorrow night's going to be new for everyone with this new format. How do you approach the game? Is it the kind of game, given that you've already qualified, that you go all out for 3 points at any cost to try and climb the table and perhaps give yourself a more favourable draw, or will it be a more measured away performance like we've seen from you this season, because a point could go a long way as well?
Yeah, listen, it's like what we've done in a lot of our games. We set out to win the game. There'll be moments when we have to adapt in the game, of course, to their qualities and how we defend. But certainly then when we have the ball, we want to be able to play well, and we want to, because the better we are in attack, then the less you have to defend in the game. So for us, it's always about the balance in our game. We set out to want to go and win the game, and we'll look to attack the game. And as I said, our job is done in terms of getting to into the 24, but it's certainly not complete. And this is the last of the group stage games, and we come here. It's a beautiful pitch. It's a great arena, so we want to come and play to the best level that we can.
Do you think you'll be looking elsewhere tomorrow night? Is it the kind of thing to
No.
see, not just focus on the game and then see what you've got full time?
Well, to be honest, it will very difficult to do anything other than concentrate on the game. I won't have a telly in my pocket or anything. So I think if you're at home watching and all those games and scores, I think it'll be great view, and all the teams playing at the same time and all the various permutations. But us as football managers and coaches will be focused on the game.
Brendan, just to go back to what you're saying about Tierney, I think that's the first time you actually said that you will be coming back. I mean, that's a huge thing for Celtic, for the fans, yourself. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, about getting that over the line for the summer? And do you think there is a chance it can happen this month?
I don't know. I think that, like I said, we prepared that for the summer. And I don't want to speak too much on it, with the greatest respect, because he's not a Celtic player here now with us. But if we were able to do it, of course, we would like to do that. But that's out of our control at this moment in time.
Brendan, we sometimes get the feeling that Scottish football is kind of looked down on a wee bit or questioned in England. Is a game like tomorrow night a chance to prove the quality that your own team has in the game in general in the SPFL?
No, listen, I think that the Premier League is the most competitive league in the world. It's where lots of top players are, lots of top managers are. But it's not the only league in the world. You know, I think that there was options for me to stay in the Premier League. My choice was to go to Scotland, to Celtic, and I'm so happy that I did. You know, you have, okay, the competition might not be the same as what it is in the Premier League, but there's not many teams in the Premier League that rival the pressure that comes with managing a Celtic or Rangers for that matter. So, but there's always an opportunity, whether you're playing in England or playing in Italy or France, wherever you're playing, there's always the opportunity for you to to show your qualities as a team and as a club. Craig.
Brendan, you've just spoken about Yuri Tielemans, obviously, but there's John McGinn as well at Aston Villa, somebody you know very well. What do you make of his progress, the way he's been in the past few years, since obviously Celtic were connected with him before?
Yeah, I was very keen in taking John to Celtic, but listen, it's the move has worked out brilliant for me. Obviously, joined Steve at the time, and they were in the Championship, but he was coming to a massive club, a great club, and they then got themselves out of the Championship, and he's really thrived in the environment here, and now so pleased for him, because like I said, it was the Celtic move was nearly there, but he's come down to England, and he's been absolutely brilliant for Aston Villa. So I see he's just back fit, so he may play a part in the game tomorrow, but no, he's been a real instrumental player from what I see on the pitch, and obviously off the pitch he's got strong character, and I'm sure he's really influenced the club.
Brendan, you mentioned a little bit about the job that Unai's done here. What's it been like taking him on as a manager? What's the kind of challenges of taking on one of his teams? He was very complimentary about yourself and Celtic earlier. What's the challenges? Yeah,
the PSG challenge was difficult. And then obviously we faced it when he was at Arsenal, and obviously when he was here at Aston Villa. So now listen, his teams are super organised. Again, I can't praise him enough, because this is a top class manager, managed over 1,000 games already in his career. Came obviously to England, to Arsenal, and it was a difficult moment for him. People maybe question him, but you only need to look at his body of work to see he was a top class coach. And then, like I say, had the courage and the bravery then to come back to England. When people tried to mock him and make fun of him and his record and his work, which I found incredible at the time, but it's been brilliant to see him come to here. And like I said, clearly will feel wanted, feels appreciated in his work. You see the work he's done on the pitch with the players. You sense the club is then built around, the various guys in the various positions here at the club, and Monchi, and really, really top operators in the game. And the club has really grown in his time here. The teams themselves, they're super organised, tactical, always in good discipline. Will press the game at the right moments. Will sit off on a block, and then what they have is really good players in counter-attack that can get through the lines very quickly. So to see him evolve here and see the growth and what he's given Aston Villa has been so impressive. So yeah, I look forward to seeing him. I obviously met him in the PSG days, and obviously with Arsenal when towards the end of his time there, and then obviously here at Aston Villa. So yeah, a good guy who's done some great work at all the clubs he's been at.
Brendan, just on the topic of other managers, I was keen to get your thoughts. I know you won't like talking about other managers losing their jobs. No manager will want to, but we saw Stuart Kettlewell resign from Motherwell yesterday, and he cited abuse towards him and his family. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that as a fellow manager. Yeah,
it's never nice. I'd obviously seen that news in the afternoon, and Stuart's a strong character, so it must have been a lot for him to resign from his post. Again, a young guy who's gone into Motherwell and done a very, very good job. So it's sad. It's bad enough when you lose your job in football, but to have to do it for those reasons. And I think for him the priority is what it should be. It's family and football. Your family comes first, and it's obviously disappointing that it's got to a stage where he felt that he didn't want to continue in his work, because he's done some great work at Motherwell.
It was just very quickly, Brendan, there was a story today linking Celtic with a bid for a Norwegian winger, Sondre Onyeseter. I think I've said that right.
It's better than I would say it, but I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of that at all, Craig. So I don't know.
Brendan, it's interesting to hear you say about Unai being mocked and for his past achievements. I mean, do you think that's been sort of underplayed over the fact that he's actually come back and silenced the doubters, for want of a better phrase?
Yeah, I don't think. Well, within football, there wasn't doubt because you only need to look at his, as I said, the body of work over a long period of time. But of course, everything that gets highlighted in our media and press, and in particular in the Premier League, it was I'm sure challenging for him. But there was no doubt he was a top manager. And so to see him come here and do the work that he's done, I've been just so happy for him because. You see how the team has played. I think also you see how the club has really grown. Obviously, the new owners have come in and invested heavily in the club, and the club is then able to grow with that, the level of player they have. But for that, you still need a top coach and to maximise what you can get out of them. And I think he's done that. So the journey they were on, get to the Champions League, absolutely great. It's always a challenge when you're having to then mix in the European football with the domestic football, but you just keep developing and growing, and the work that he's done to do that has been absolutely first class. So yeah, really pleased for him, and as I said, I can't speak highly enough for the work that he's done here.